Hello, and today I'm taking a look at Blastable. This is new awesome email marketing software for awesome email marketers, which I aspire to be. First impressions are it's got a great looking website. They've really gone with this kind of bubblegum blue and pink theme. And what they are really pitching themselves on is they are very well integrated with ClickFunnels, Zapier, and they're also saying their open rates are really good as well. So when you're sending out your emails, they're going to get delivered and they're going to get opened. So let's dive in. This is the main dashboard. I've recently imported some subscribers from another list I have and sent out a test blast, which is what they call sending out an email. And so we can see some of the stats. This would be your daily stats if you were collecting email addresses. And then we've got the recently sent blasts, the open rate, click rate, the number of emails sent, and if you've got any lined up to go out, so they appear here. It's a very simple to use platform. If you've used an email platform like this before, you'll be familiar with the steps you need to take. You first have to set up a sending domain, and you do that by editing your DNS, adding some records that they give you. If that sounds a bit confusing or you're not quite sure what I mean, don't worry. They have some helpful videos on their YouTube channel that will talk you through how to do that. So you'll first set up your sending domain. You then need to set up your sender profiles, which is the email addresses you're sending out from. So abc.com gets added as the domain and mark@abc.com gets added as the sender profile. Once you've got that all set up, you can get started. It's got all the tools that you need all in here. So we've got email blasts, autoresponder, you can manage your lists, you've got templates, sign up forms, you can segment, tag, and there's automation as well. So if you want to do an email blast, you just give it a name. You can have a suppression list if there's people you don't want to send that email to. You would select the list that you do want to send it to, and you can have an exclusion list as well. If you want, you can do it by segmentation, and you've also got excluded segments. So next up, you need to create the blast. One thing I will say at this point is I'm not a big fan of the pink on the blue buttons. I find it a little bit hard to read when I put my mouse over it, but that's maybe just me. If you've designed templates already, this is where you can select them. If you're struggling to think of some good text and subject lines, you can use an AI copywriter that's built in. So we need to give it something that we want to send an email about. So let's try promote the lifetime deal of blastable.com. Let's see what happens. So it's used AI to help you get started. We've got a little bit of text. If we move down, you've got the subject you need to put the subject from, and we've now got the main editor. You can do HTML editing. We'll go back to a drag and drop. Elements that you can just drag in if you want to do something other than plain text. I personally just prefer sending out plain text, but let's just drag that on. So you've got a nice heading, and let's say you want to add an image, something else there. Let's add another image. It'd be like building a website actually, but there we go. So once you've added all the elements, you just go through, update the text, change the picture, update the links so that they go where you want them to go. You can then preview it. Now notice I haven't got a subject, so I'll need to add a subject, but there's the preview, so you can check it out before you send, and then you can send the test blast, or you can schedule it to go out later on that day, that week, whenever, just get it set up. So an autoresponder is something you'd use that when someone is added to the list, you can send out an email straight away or a sequence of emails. So here we've got just test, after subscribing, no minutes, and then we say next. And then we go in and we've got exactly what I just showed you. It's the email creation element, and you can build up a few of those so that it will drip out emails over time. Now, if you want to do something a little bit more complex than just sending out an email after an email, you want to use an automation. Again, very easy to set up, and you get dropped onto this flow canvas. So the first step is what triggers it. So you pick the list or segmentation, and then you can just drag on these different events, and there's weights, what's the end, what else we got? We can move people to lists, you can add different tags, you can put them into different workflows. Let me just zoom out a bit. So we can trigger a webhook. And you see how very quick and easy. Obviously, you need to go in and configure all these one by one, but you can see it's very quick and easy to build up a very quick workflow that could actually be quite complicated. If this happens, then do this. If this happens, do this. If this happens, trigger this. And that can be a lot more complicated. And I'm zoomed in, but we can zoom out, so you could add a lot more different actions and events taking place. Now, I haven't tried this out because I've only done one test blast, but just shows you the power you have available to you if you want to set up something more complicated than just sending out an email. Now, one area I've not been able to test is the sign-up form. So in theory, you're supposed to create a sign-up form. So if we go sign-up forms to create them, they've got a good selection. And the problem I've had is that when I've come in to edit the forms, because you're supposed to be able to edit this, change the picture, for example. Okay, so it looks terrible, but you get the idea. Sign up, get this free guide. So I'll say next. Don't want it to redirect, so you can have it redirecting people that sign up maybe to your own landing page, a thank you page, a sales page, or you can just have it show a message. So in this case, I'll just use their message. Let's say save and next. We've got the form name, let's say publish. So you can either have it single opt-in where they fill out the form and they're on the list, or a double opt-in where they fill out the form, get an email, push a button, and then they're on the list. When it comes to publishing, your developer can do it, you can do it using iframe or HTML, or you can have them host it. So you could perhaps send them there via QR code straight to the form. Then we're back on this page. Now let's say we want to preview the form. Now this one has worked, which I'm really pleased, but others, when I've previewed them, this is the one I made earlier, you can see it's not worked. So there seems to be some issues. Here's another one, didn't work. So that's the first time I've created a form and it's worked successfully. So there's something going on with my edits and their builder that's prevented it from working. So just be aware of that. Make sure to preview your forms before you try and publish. I have flagged this to the developers, they are aware of it, and hopefully this is something they can fix pretty quickly and easily. After you've sent out a blast, if you come to manage email blast, you'll get your tracking stats and it will show you opens, clicks, unsubscribes, complaints, bounces, and that will give you the important feedback as to whether you're going in the right direction with your email list. And they've said to me that they would expect an open rate of 15 to 20% depending on the quality of your list. So I'm just about there with this particular test list. I'd have to send a few more emails out to a wider sample to see how well the list responds. So if you're interested in this deal, there's an affiliate link down below. Here's the deal that's on AppSumo at the moment. Tier 1 and Tier 2, I would say get them with caution if you just want to try it out, because really you want Tier 3. So what do you get? Well, Tier 1, 20,000 emails per month. Now, it doesn't say on the deal page how many contacts you can have. I asked support, and I will say support have been very good at getting back to me. If you've got any issues, they can help you out. And what they've said is the number of emails is the number of subscribers. So you could have 20,000 subscribers and send them one email a month. That's my understanding. And that's $69, 119 gets you 50,000. But really, this deal only starts to make sense at Tier 3, because this is where you can have multiple sender profiles. So you don't just use it for one website and one email. You can use it for different websites and different email addresses. It's also where you get advanced segmentation, marketing automations, and the custom autoresponders. Above Tier 3, the only thing that changes is the number of emails per month, and that's up to 1 million a month for $999. The other thing to check out is it's just in the questions section. You can see this question here. Someone had asked what happens if you hit the maximum of your account, and they're currently working on pricing for out of bundle purchases. So if you do need to increase your limits after the deal's over, they are going to have that option. It's going to be available November 16th by the looks of it. So if you want to learn more about this or ask a question, read the current questions, go and click on my link below and let me know what you think in the comments.